happy you're here today because we are going to be talking about all things baby and pregnancy. So this is going to be my second trimester update and recap. If you are new here, I am currently 28 weeks pregnant, which means I am officially in my third trimester, which is crazy because it has gone by surprisingly fast. I guess I haven't been paying as much attention. This is my fifth baby, so I'm not counting down the days so much. I'm just doing my usual day-to-day routine, and I guess that has caused it to go by faster than it usually does. So I'm actually happy about that, and I'm praying that the last couple months fly by because we cannot wait to meet this baby. Let's start by talking about second trimester and how that all went. For me, the symptoms this time around have been, I would say, the most by the book, pregnancy-wise. Usually I have some really random symptoms when I'm pregnant. I feel like I'd categorize myself as having more unusual things whenever I'm expecting. This time around, I would say what I'm currently experiencing would be the typical, just really uncomfortable, especially sleeping lately, more back pain just from carrying the extra weight in the baby, fatigue. I feel like no matter what, I'm just so tired a lot of the time, and I've learned I kind of just have to get up and get going with my day, because if I don't just kind of force myself to be productive from the start, I could 100% just lounge and lay around, which I can't do when you have 4 kids already. So there's a time and place for that. My husband's great at, allowing me to rest when I need to when he is home, but of course there's responsibilities that you can't neglect, and I've got to just get up and seize the day, I guess. Even when I'm feeling so tired. I've noticed this time around that I've had more food aversion than I've ever had in a past pregnancy. Usually I'm more on the side of having cravings and things that I feel like I just need to eat. This time it's the opposite. It's like I cannot have certain things. They sound horrible. Like a random one is spaghetti. I don't know why, but since my first trimester, it just, I don't know, I just don't want spaghetti, which used to be a pretty frequent meal in our home. So we've not had that for a while, at least I haven't. And just other random things. I wish I could think of more, but it's funny how that happens. Like, you carry a child and so many of your own interests shift and change while you're pregnant. I will say that I did have a rough go a few weeks ago. If you watched one of my videos, I shared that I had a kidney infection that was progressing pretty quickly, and that was scary and unexpected. And because I'm pregnant, they said that it can escalate more quickly than if I wasn't. So that was not fun and not something I hope I ever go through again. Like I said, other than that, not a whole lot to say or complain about, and I'm really thankful. I was praying that I'd have as smooth of a pregnancy as possible. As a lot of you know, we're out of state from my family now, so the less I have to be struggling just with how I feel or health-wise, the better, because I do miss having my mom nearby. And yeah, she was my go-to person, of course, if I ever needed anything. So I've been really thankful to have things be pretty laid back for the most part. I've been trying to eat healthier this pregnancy. Past pregnancies, I cannot say the same. I've usually just been whatever goes and I just eat what I feel like, and that was just my way of doing things. This time I just want to be better at taking care of myself. I don't know if it's just I've been needing to get into that habit of just choosing to eat better foods and fuel my body with things that are actually of value. So I've been trying to be diligent and mindful of what I put into my body. I have a really hard time with like my sugar intake, and it's easy for me to overdo it on the sweets, whether it's a drink or a dessert. Those are hard for me to say no to. For a long time, I had sweet tea every day, which I know is horrible, and I feel almost bad admitting it. But it's been something that is hard for me to cut out. But when I finally did, it really made a difference. And so I'm thankful to know that when I do put in that effort, that it is a good thing. I just feel like this sounds so funny, but this is the most I've ever tried to take care of myself. You know, one random thing I was thinking about with pregnancy is sometimes for me it is a little bit of a mental battle. And I don't feel like apart from being pregnant, I really put much emphasis on my weight. I would say I'd be more along the lines of I try not to eat too horrible, and I try to exercise when I can. I don't really weigh myself, but being pregnant and having to consistently get on a scale, see your body changing, your body's consistently growing as your baby grows, and just seeing yourself get bigger over, you know, a span of about a year, it is hard for me sometimes. And I didn't realize that it's one of those things for me that I have to, I suppose, guard my heart and really make sure I'm being mindful of my thoughts, especially towards myself. So maybe it would be just being more gentle with just my changing body. I know that sounds kind of funny, but it can be easy for me. I don't know if it's just society and feeling like growing up that you don't ever want the number to increase of how much you're gaining weight. And even when it's such a beautiful and wonderful reason, it can be a mental battle for me sometimes, and like a hurdle to just be okay with it, that I'm gaining weight, that my body's changing, that my clothes don't fit the same. And sometimes when I open my closet, I'm like, what am I gonna wear? Or does any of this even fit? So I'm learning to be less focused on that and to not put so much thought into it, and instead to really think about what a privilege and joy and honor it is to carry a child, and the miracle that it truly is, especially knowing this is my 5th, and how blessed we are that we can say that we have 5 wonderful children to love and to raise, and that will, Lord willing, grow up to serve God. I just want that to be my immediate thought when I start to kind of go wayward. So I guess I'm mentioning this because if that's something you've struggled with too, just know that you're not alone, and maybe you can also just find a positive thing to kind of refocus and remind your heart of. A lot of you always want to know, what is your birth plan and what are you doing this time around? I have had 2 C-sections, so I am not eligible for a VBAC, which is not uncommon, of course. So I will be having a C-section again, which I'm more okay with now. I don't love the idea of surgery. I don't think I ever will. I think most people don't, right? But it's okay, and I really trust my doctor that I do have now, and so I'm really thankful. The more conversations I've had, the more I have felt at ease, and that's been a huge blessing for me, because like I've shared before, I do get anxious, and I feel like the Lord's given me a peace even more so recently. This is the way the Lord orchestrated things, and if I'm healthy and the baby's healthy, that's really all that matters to me at the end of the day. Okay, so let's talk about the gender. We found out, I want to say, around 20 weeks, which is standard if you choose to wait until your anatomy scan. So I actually had my daughter with me. My husband usually keeps all of the kids when I go to my appointments, but she's been really interested in just pregnancy and just seeing the baby when she can. So she came along with me, and we found out first together. So I'm going to show you a little video. It's 5 seconds. We did not do things extravagant this time. I don't know if I've just enjoyed things being more simple and not so like having to have this big extravagant thing for every milestone. I think that I've loved all of that in the past, and I'm sure there'll be things that I fully embrace in the future. But this time around, I have just enjoyed the simplicity of just doing things very laid back. So here comes the announcement of the gender in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so it is a boy. I'm really excited. My daughter guessed boy the second I told her that we were expecting. So I don't know if that was in the back of my mind. My daughter, when she talks about what life's gonna be like, she's like, it's gonna be very wild now that there's 3 boys. I'm like, that's probably true, but we are overjoyed and cannot wait to hold and meet this little guy. He is so active that I think the only comparable pregnancy would be my first, who's my oldest, Haven. She was super active when I was pregnant as well. But this, yeah, this baby boy, he is just moving non-stop, and I'm like, I want to meet you. I want to see what you're like, because it's funny how you can get to know your baby even when you're carrying him or her. So it's been special and fun to literally feel him growing, see him growing in ultrasounds, and just have this growing anticipation of life when he's finally outside of the womb. And lastly, names. I have never gotten to the 3rd trimester and not known what we're naming our baby. I do not know what the deal is this time. He has no name. And I think we have ideas of what we would name him, but nothing that I felt like that's it. I can tell people, I can, you know, let my mom and dad know, my siblings know, grandparents know. There's been nothing that I have felt like, there it is, I don't need to look anymore or try to figure anything else out. I don't know what is happening. I don't know why I'm so indecisive. I would give you the names we're thinking about, but I feel like it would just confuse me more at this point, because I feel like the more I open the door of people's opinions, the more I'm like, I really don't know what to do now. So just stay tuned for that, because I truly don't know. And I would not be surprised if this is my first pregnancy where he doesn't officially have a name until he's born and we're holding him and we need to, you know, sign the papers of like who he's going to be. You are welcome to leave name ideas in the comments. I will gladly read through any of the ones that you love or have, you know, liked but you didn't use or whatever. I mean, I do not know what to name this baby, but he's gonna have a name eventually, so we're headed there. I have a few months, so pray for me. I don't know why it's so hard to choose a name, and my husband and I haven't been like on the same page of the style of name this time. I don't know what it is. Usually we've just said a name, one of us, and the other has just loved it, and it's like, oh hey, we're good to go. This time I'll throw out a suggestion or vice versa, and the other is just like, I don't know, or just no. So we will get to the bottom of this. But for now, he's just baby boy, and that's fine. I hope that you enjoyed this very random update of what's been going on in my pregnancy. I'm really excited, of course, and we are so blessed and grateful to God for this complete surprise of the year. And I know, like I've said before, he was meant to be in our family, and we are just anticipating such a wonderful time with this sweet baby boy who is active and will probably keep me on my toes, chasing him around the second he's able to walk. So oh my goodness. But if you liked this video, if you could please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet. That would mean a lot to me. This has been such a fun way for me to share more of my life and just have a creative outlet that I truly enjoy. I did not think I would love doing this as much as I have so far. Any support means a lot to me, and I'm really thankful that you take the time to comment, to listen, to watch. On the next video, we will be doing a fall craft, so kind of switching gears a little bit, but I hope that you will be there for that too, and I hope that you're having an amazing week so far. I can't wait to see you on the next video. Bye!